Hello, welcome to Epperson Music.
Here we are.
Yeah. My name's Cory, and this is our monthly show. It's called Epperson's Unplugged. And tonight we have Alex Wright. I want to call you Alex.
Alex is good.
Alex Wright,
That's
aka Two Ton Bridge.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the band name, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For many years down in Los Angeles, I used to go under, everything I did was under the name, the moniker Two Ton Bridge.
Okay.
It just made it a lot easier because sometimes I played by myself, sometimes I played as a duet, sometimes I played as a trio, sometimes full band, and all of it was, and players were coming in and going out, and it was all just under Two Ton Bridge. That's it. That's, where'd they go? Oh, up there. There. Now that's the WWW too, also. There.
Yeah. So, how long have you been out in Minsk? I mean, you're recently
Yeah.
out here.
Well, the story is, we have we've been coming up here for many, many years, and we do have another place down in Walla that we rent out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was coming up for like 2 months out of a year, 6 weeks, as long as I could for the last 10 years. And it was, as I said to Chris, about 15 or 20 years ago, we woke up when we came through Mendocino and we looked at each other and said, we have to make this part of our life.
Uh-huh.
And we spent 20 years doing that, and we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it influenced your songwriting at all? The times that
Absolutely.
you've been up here?
Yeah, as you will hear, there's several songs that I've written that while up here, and also inspired by the geography, the animals, the place, and the experience of being up here. Yeah.
So, can you describe your songwriting process?
The process, it's different, as everybody says, it's different every time, but I can tell you this, I read a lot, and I love words, and I love history and ideas, and what'll happen, I think generally with me, is I'll get an idea, something will come in my head. I'll be walking along, I'll be playing a song tonight called Posthole Digger.
Okay.
And that song started with just the words, he's a post hole digger with a digger in his hand. And I walked around to that in my head for about 2.5 years, going, what made me think of that? And I was raised on a farm. My grandfather had a farm, my parents had a farm, and I used to do a lot of post hole digging, and it gives you a whole nother appreciation when you walk along and see these up in the mountains, fences that go just whoosh, all the way up there, and you go, somebody put in every single one of those post holes.
Yeah.
And that was somebody's day.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Like
And so that combined with kind of an admiration for a hard work ethic that I grew up with a lot of characters, people in my life who were pretty incredible people, and they were hardcore workers, and they were people of the earth. And I think some of the songs I tried to pay tribute to that, and that's And so anyway, to get back to your question, yeah. So what happens is usually I'll get a little bit introspective and go, now what was I thinking about that? Why did I think Posthole Digger? What made me think of that? Well, this is my association with it, and I remember this guy here who worked on Granddaddy's farm, and then I used to do this, and I used to do that, and then it all starts to come together in images and kind of metaphors and words coming together, and all of a sudden, poop! Usually there's a story there. It just comes out, and a lot of times I'll just have scratches on pieces of paper here, there, and like that, and then I'll sit down one day and go ding a ding a ding, ding ding ding, and it goes there it is. Okay, got it.
Just depends.
So it's a lot about gestation,
Yeah.
letting things work on the inside.
Yeah. So
I don't know that I've ever really sat down and said, I'm going to write a song like this right now. I have for work, for jobs, for theater, writing musical direction, things like that. This is the scene, these are the people, I'm going to do that, and I have to write that song. But for my own purposes. I don't know that I've ever sat down and written a song because I said to myself, I'm going to write this song.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's kind
it
of
is.
tough to do.
And it comes and goes.
Yeah.
You can't push it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it slides away and becomes something false. It doesn't ring true, you know, I think.
Uh-huh.
That's for me, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned theater. You also do, I don't know, so you do a lot of theater.
I do. I have done, yeah. It was my life for many, many years. And in Los Angeles, I had my own theaters. I had 3 theaters down there. And it was a really, really wonderful, incredible, heady time in the 80s and 90s, working with incredible people, you know, who went on to become big stars and stuff like that. And working with them in a nascent time, and you know, we generated an artistic community of theater actors and producers and creators down there in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all got to be too much, and Reaganomics came in, and the streets were filled with homeless people because SSI was cut off, and halfway houses, and nobody wanted to come to the theater anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. And I went, let's quit while we're at the top.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I did. And then after that, Chris, my wife, we had a Shakespeare company. And we used to do Shakespeare's plays up in the wine country in Central California for many years.
Oh,
Plus historical pieces that we would write and put together. We did one piece that was the love letters of all the presidents to their wives. And somebody who was a researcher, put together found all of this material to go through every single one of the presidents and finding letters that they had written to their wives, or their mistresses, or their lovers, or whoever, you know, or their boyfriends, you know, at that time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't really leave theater, you just kind of changed it.
I left the physical theater, and we were performing outdoors, and then I guess it was around 2011, I think both of us just went, I'm done. I don't have the time, it's energy. Theater takes a lot of time, a lot of energy to do.
Yeah.
And I was also doing a lot more film and TV at that time too, trying to make money at it.
Uh-huh.
And then it wasn't until we got up here that the Mendocino Theater Company,
Oh.
hey, come here.
You hooked you back in.
Come here, you. I know you.
Yeah,
So now I'm working with them too.
okay, they're known for that.
Yeah.
They'll do that to you.
Yeah.
All right, so if you could perform anywhere in the world, where would that be?
And they're huge. Where would I perform? That's a really good question. I think it would be somewhere like Hardly Strictly Bluegrass down in San Francisco. If I had my druthers, you know, if somebody said, you have one gig, who's it going to be? Where's it going to be? You know, in front of all these people. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. And I'd gather my friends to play with me.
Yeah. Right on. Well, we're honored to have you here today. So I'm
It's a great
really
honor
looking
to be
forward
here.
to hearing what kind of show you're going to bring, and I'll just turn it over to you at this point.
All right.
Alex Wright.
Thank you. So, as I was thinking about over the last week or so what I was going to do today, how am I going to approach this? It's a really wonderful opportunity that you created, Cory, here at your store for a nice, intimate experience for everybody, for ourselves as artists also. And I thought, well, let's go chronological. And so I started looking and putting my songs out there and saying, well, I can do this one, do that. And then I said, okay, today I was just in the shower before I got up here. You'll all be thankful for that because I was dealing with horses. And I thought, well, if I really want to be chronological, I got to go back. I got to go back about 25 years to my first songs I started writing. And I went and crawled through the book. You know, I have these books that are about this thick of things I've written over the years. And this is a song I wrote in 1992. And I'm gonna have to read it because I haven't played it in probably 25 to 30 years. But you can see it's on old yellowed paper with dot matrix printing on it. So that's how you know. And so this, your story, your question about where it comes from. As I said, I've always been interested in reading and words and ideas, and I think one of my best philosophy teachers I've ever had came from Looney Tunes. You know, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, and you know, you find things like they come out and say, Bugs Bunny would come across Daffy Duck and say, "What are you doing, Daffy?" And Daffy would go, "Well, I'm nothing." And Bugs would go, "Well, how do you know when you're done?" Huh, that's a good question. Huh. My trusty rifle is a trifle rusty. And I heard Sylvester one day came out and said, "Where are you going?" "Oh, I don't know. I never know where I'm going until I'm gone." So I went, there it is. That's a word there. So, and this song is called Sylvester and Soren, as in Soren Kierkegaard, and Sylvester the cat. Well, you never know where I'm going until I get there. I never know where I've been until I'm gone. The things I did today will never go away, and that's how I keep the blues away. What am I gonna do tomorrow if I leave behind all my todays? I gotta get up and go. If I don't, I'll never know, and that's about all I got to say. If you're leaving, then you got to get gone. Just 'cause you're leaving doesn't mean you're moving on. I gotta take a stand, can't just sit around. I lost, I'm gonna find another way. Money'll help me some, but when all is said and done, I'm gonna follow the road from here to kingdom come. No matter how you slice it, it's tough, that's a fact. I just realized that my bags ain't packed. I never know where I'm going until I get there. I never know where I've been until I'm gone. The things I did today will never go away, and that's how I keep the blues away. Yeah, that's how I keep the blues away. This next song, again, People of the Earth. I played with a band in LA called the 8-Hand String Band, and I was playing the band. I was teaching at a school. I was managing a farm, my family farm back east on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and running the theater company all at the same time for a while. Didn't sleep much. And there was a guy back on the farm who I grew up with. His name was Jimmy Doolin. And he was a farm manager, and he was a man of the earth. This guy, you would look at him and he would look at you and you'd have to go, whoa, wow. His eyes were ice blue and cold and hard and strong, man of the earth. He had canyons for wrinkles in his face. And rarely would he smile, but he'd go, huh. That was about it. And so I took over running the farm after a series of incidents and people moving on. And I discovered that this guy, Jimmy, has many, many cases. He'd been taking us for a ride for many years. So it became my course in life to have to tell him at the age of 74 that he had to move on. We couldn't do that anymore. And it was tough. But I did get a song out of it. And, you know, he got his pension and all that kind of thing too. But it was a tough thing. In any case, I want to tell you about my guitars too. These guys are cousins. This is a 1939 0017 Martin, and I've had it since 1979, and I thought I'd start out the evening, afternoon, dusk, playing this one and move over to this one, which is, so much older than this one. It's a 1940 Gibson there. So, this is called Jimmy's Way. Jimmy had a nice car and he drove it to town. Oh, how he moved when he put his foot down. He had ways of his own, that's how he got on. Fierce blue eyes and a voice that was strong. He took what he needed and he let the rest fall. Never a thought about what it was for. He was 74 when he got the call. They told him he couldn't work here no more. Oh, he almost died, he most certainly cried. After 40 long years, the doors opened wide. And the family around him didn't know what to say. Except in Jimmy, does this mean we're going away? Well, Jimmy had cousins all over the county. When he started falling, they were right by his side. His mama and his papa, they're long passed away. His brothers and sisters, that's harder to say. He made it through the summer by waiting for fall. He wanted to fly, never learned how to crawl. Well, mountains are moved on the rivers of time, rolling us round to the other side. Dip your hand in the water and see how it runs, for the tide goes out with the morning sun. Yeah, mountains are moved on the rivers of time, rolling us round to the other side. Dip your hand in the water and see how it runs, for the tide goes out with the morning sun. Yeah, the tide goes out with the morning sun. Yeah, the tide goes out with the morning sun. All right. Oh, yeah, okay. Here's that song I was talking about earlier. Oh, I think I was talking to you about the fences. It's called Posthole Digger. And during the Depression, my grandfather had a farm in Virginia, and there was a young lad, who walked in from town in Leesburg, Virginia, walked about 4 miles out and asked my grandfather if he had any work. And he said, well, I have work for you today, and whether I have work in the future depends on what you do today. Well, that man's name was Raymond Fuller, and he didn't. It took him 70 years to leave that farm. eyes burn the color of the land. He walks the walk of a wounded man, come rootin' stone, rockin' clay. He digs and he digs 20 holes a day. He's a posthole digger, digger in his hand. He's a posthole digger, digger in his hand. He builds his fence both straight and true, 'cause that's what he was hired to do. Someone's always buying his time. He longs for $1, only gets a dime. He's a posthole digger, digger in his hand. He's a posthole digger, digger in his hand. Take an ironwood tree and you whittle it down. Dig a little hole, stick it in the ground. Wood and steel, wood and steel, turn that land to a field. He's a posthole digger, digger in his hand. After 45 years of laying out fence, it all lines up, but it don't make sense. When he picked up his digger and he stuck it in the ground, heart broken too, it fell right down. Take an ironwood tree and you whittle it down. Dig a little hole, stick it in the ground. Wood and steel, wood and steel, turn that land into a field. He's a posthole digger, digger in his hand. Buried his body in a potter's field, between the tangled roots of an ironwood tree. They took that man and they whittled him down, dug a little hole, stuck him in the ground. Yeah, they took that man and they whittled him down, dug a little hole and stuck him in the ground. He's a posthole digger, digger in his hand. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Ray. We shared a birthday, December 17th. His birthday was mine. For all those years. It came at the same time every year. It was amazing. Couldn't believe it. Yeah, so chronological. Moving on. Playing with the 8-hand string band. Fun times. We had sometimes 5 members, 10-hand band, 8-hand string band. And we had a guitar player named Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson disappeared on us. He left. Went up one night, just left. He was an incredible guy. One of the funniest people I had ever known in my life. He could tell a joke, straight-faced, and people falling on the floor. Incredible guitar player. Well, not long after he had disappeared, I was down in my studio and at night and picked up not this guitar, another guitar, and this song came out. And I think he was there. And it's called Postcard. Why Postcard? Because he wrote it to me. I'm so far from the seashore and I'm so far from land. One thing I miss is my old bluegrass band. We'd play in the barnyard, we'd play by the fire. We'd play all alone, the simple truth be known. Well, the leaves on the tree, they turn purple and green. Prettiest damn tree that I'll never see. The limbs speak of life in the soil of love. You better raise high your voices, I'll be singing from above. And we'll play the song once, and we'll play the song twice. Now let's play it again, 'cause it sounds so nice. Oh, how I miss those old friends of mine, hanging around, we're drinking our wine. If I just had a way to say hello, I'd tell you I love you, you'd say yes I know. Well, time will tell us what we need to know, how long to stay, just when to go. I never intended to cause any pain, I was looking for shelter from my kind of rain. And we'll play the song once, and we'll play the song twice. Now let's play it again, 'cause it sounds so nice. Oh, how I miss those old friends of mine, just hanging around, we're drinking our wine. If I just had a way to say hello, I'd tell you I love you, you'd say yes I know. I'm a voice in the evening, a trick of the light, melancholy dream on a midsummer night. I'll put a stamp on this postcard, I'll send it away, postmarked tomorrow, delivered today. And we play the song once, and we play the song twice. Now let's play it again, 'cause it sounds so nice. Oh, how I miss those old friends of mine, just hanging around, we're drinking our wine. If I just had a way to say hello, I'd tell you I love you, you'd say, yeah, we know. All right. So moving on, years go by, and all of a sudden, I have a producer. He says, songs, we need songs, we need songs. So I started writing songs, and they all came, they just started to come. This song is a song that was inspired by a novella by Eudora Welty. And during the Depression in Alabama, the farmers lived on a bartering system there because nobody had any money. There was no money to be had during the Depression out in the fields and the farms in furthest reaches of Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia. And, it was a barter that, somebody would grow the corn and somebody else would grow the peas and somebody else would slaughter the hog and somebody else, and they all get together and they trade them off, and that's how they worked. That's how they lived during that time. And then the government came along and said, you know what? We need money in the government, so we're going to tax your farmland. And they said, good luck. We don't have any money. And they said, well, then we're going to take your land. And that's what started to happen. People started to lose their land because they couldn't pay their property taxes. Then federal government programs came along by FDR, and things started to change a little bit. But anyway, I couldn't imagine that. I just couldn't imagine being there and having that happen with my family or my life or anything. So anyway, this song here is inspired by that. I fought hard for my freedom, give me naught but what is due. When the rain falls on fields of sorghum, put no tax on my revenue. For I put food on your table, I give it away. If you cannot pay, I feed the poor and unable. I'll get mine some other way. Take your hands off my land. I got no corn in my silo. Compassion's well is run bone dry. No food, no shoes for tomorrow. I'm hanging low, the end is nigh. Take your hands off my land. Take your hands off my land. Put no burden on the farmer. Feed your war from another hand. My blood is not your rainbow. Take your hands off my land. Take your hands off my land. My blood is not your rainbow. Take your hands off my land. Take your hands off my land. Put no burden on the farmer. Feed your war from another hand. My blood is not your rainbow. Take your hands off my land. 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 One of my favorite things to do, and I've done it up here with my son, is go fishing. And I used to, when he was small, I would wake him up early in the morning. It's, 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning. I'd go, Will, come on, let's go on fishing. Boom! He was up out of bed and out there into the boat. And what do you got? And he had everything ready. He got the sandwiches ready. He got this tackle together. He got everything. Come on, Dad, let's go. All right, okay, all right, okay, we're coming. So anyway, and the water and fishing has been a godsend for our family and for him and for us. When the sun sets down on this old heart of mine, all my children, all my children, all my children, come gather me home, gather me home. Step soft, I keep moving, I step soft, keep moving, step soft, keep moving, got a fish on the line, fish on the line. I talk to the river, I talk to the rain, call out to the sky, my ancient eyes on fire. I throw all my troubles into the muddy brine. I don't have to worry about what's heavy on my mind. I step soft, keep moving, I step soft, I keep moving, I step soft, keep moving, got a fish on the line, got a fish on the line. Time disappears when I watch the water, try to understand, I look for answers in the flow. Gaze into the ripples, try to see what's under. But for the life of me, it's a number 9 wonder. I step soft, I keep moving, I step soft, I keep moving, I step soft, I keep moving, got a fish on the line, fish on the line. for the ebb tide to give me some direction. Spent the day down on my knees trying to wash my sins away. But I was born forgiven for what I cannot be. There, by the grace of love, goes a better part of me. I step soft, I keep moving. I step soft, I keep moving. I step soft, keep moving. Got a fish on the line, fish on the line. I step soft, keep moving. I step soft, keep moving. I step soft, keep moving. Got a fish on the line, 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 fish on the line. All right. Oh gosh, where are we now? Okay. Down in Charlottesville, Virginia, my son lives down there with his 2 kids, and we took a walk down to the end of the street one day, and down to the creek down there, a little river creek, and he said, "This is where Hartman's mill was." I said, "Where's Hartman's mill?" "Well, Hartman's mill was a place where the Afro-American soldiers in the Civil War, when they were released from the prisoner of war camp down in Richmond, Virginia, on the Charles River, they'd walk up the Charles River to here, and Mr. Hartman would give them a job. Not only would he give them a job, he gave them land, about 10,000 square feet, quarter of an acre, something like that. A lot of those families still have those places along the river, along the creek, much to the consternation of the Board of Supervisors and developers in Charlottesville, Virginia. And I just thought it was just a wonderful story that we've lost that in this world, that employers used to take care of people and take care of the families. And when you work for someone, it was for life. Today it's for maybe a month. He spent 2 long years in Belle Isle prison, waiting for the war to be over. Then he walked up on the Scottsville Road, headed for Hartman's mill. He was headed for Hartman's mill, headed for Hartman's mill. He's gonna see his wife in Charlottesville, headed for Hartman's mill, headed for Hartman's mill. Well, I never thought he'd learn to love the dust of the sweet southern yellow pine, working dawn to dusk on the lumber line, working on Hartman's mill. He was working at Hartman's mill, working at Hartman's mill. He's gonna see his wife in Charlottesville, working at Hartman's mill, working at Hartman's mill. Sweet freedom in the air, too many nights with nobody there. They tried and tried to break his soul. He saw the light shining on a Scottsville road. Redbuds blooming in the springtime, cherry blossoms swimming in the air. He had a dream last night, his wife was there. She was headed for Hartman's mill. She was headed for Hartman's mill. Headed for Hartman's mill. Yeah, he's gonna see his wife in Charlottesville. She's headed for Hartman's mill. Headed for Hartman's mill. Headed for Hartman's mill. All the love was there, and he couldn't stop the tears down at Hartman's mill. Thank you all. This is a song inspired by being up here. My daughter arrived from New York after working for a long time. Had just met a new beau, came out, and we came down to Wallala, and we walked out, and the ocean was right there in front of us there. It was early in the morning. She had slept for 16 hours. She was so exhausted. And she was drinking her coffee, and we were out there, and she said, "Dad, this is incredible. This is beautiful out here." I said, "Yeah, it's a good day to be a whale." Charity and grace sowed seeds in the spring, waited so patient for the food they would bring. Laughing and singing, talking long summer plans, sifting bountiful earth through their leather-lined hands. It's a good day to be a whale. Faith and hope put their nose to the grindstone, split oak and old pine to warm their home. Time rolled away and hid under a log, so they loaded the wagon and they called for the dog. It's a good day to be a whale. It's a good day to be a whale. Humble and grateful, they plowed up the field, furrow on furrow, so long and so deep. Sun rolled away over the horizon with a chandelier light, like honey on a bun. It's a good day to be a whale. It's a good day to be a whale. Warmth and desire went walking one evening on a bluff by the sea in the cold early spring. Off in the distance, a blue whale was singing. It's 1,000 miles was a word she was bringing. It's a good day to be a whale. It's a good day to be a whale. It's a good day. Charity and grace, they sowed their seeds. Warmth and desire went walking one evening. Charity and grace, God went home for dinner. Made a place for me. It's a good day to be away. I'm gonna try that again. Charity and grace, they sowed their seeds. Faith and hope made it home for dinner. Humble and grateful got tangled in the weeds, and warmth and desire made a place for me. It's a good day to be a whale, isn't it? It's a good day, yeah, to be a whale. It's a good day to be a whale. Thank you for being patient with me on that one. I got all mixed up there. Happens sometimes in the best of families. And this is inspired by the trip that Chris and I took where, and I think we talked about this at the beginning, not all of you were here, but Chris and I landing here in Mendocino after being up on the Lost Coast and waking up and just looking outside and saying, we have to make this part of our life. And we did. This is called The Lost Coast. Lost coast calls out to the sea, fog holes close to the shore. The stars in the night light up inside me, and I hear my heart open. My bones start shaking, 'cause you said, darling, I can't live without you. It's so hard to unwind the bonds of sorrow tied up in my mind. I talk to myself, but all I hear is you, and we're traveling a long road. Just keep on going, 'cause you said, darling, I can't live without you. Yeah, and some days, these are some days. One day, it's gonna be our day. Fire in our soul lights up the night. Never seen the dawn so clear. I can't count the trees that are fallen and gone, or the days gone by. I'll always remember this one, 'cause you said, darling, I can't live without you. Yeah, you said, darling, I can't live without you. Yeah, you said, darling, I can't live without you. few more. I've got this one. It's kind of a mashup of a couple of ones. Now, as I mentioned before, I grew up on the eastern. Well, I'll never say I grew up, but I was raised on the eastern shore of Maryland because I still think I'm growing up somehow. And the commerce there is water, crabs, oystermen, fish, much like around here, only with salmon and crabs. And Noyo Harbor reminds me a lot back there. And when we had to let go of our family home back there, the farm, I wrote this song in order to remember those people, the strength and the courage of the watermen who made that place real and right. Waterman Town, everybody lives in Waterman Town. Get to the boat in the middle of the night, got your foul weather gear, fight the good fight. In a Waterman Town, in a Waterman Town. Yeah, Waterman Town, everybody knows this is Waterman Town. Fish in the blood, mud on my mind, gotta stay on top of that bottom line. In a Waterman Town. Yeah, saltwater runs in the family. Run a trot line down to the bottom of the bay. I'm a Christian man, I don't give a damn about what you think. Who I am. In a Waterman Town. In a Waterman Town. Ho! Drive the same old truck for 44 years, 4 on the wheel, 3 4 gears. Yeah, my head hits a pillow when the sun goes down. Everybody sleeping in a Waterman Town. In a Waterman Town. I got a skipjack boat and a log canoe, pick a bushel of crabs and oysters too. Sail on down to the Rock Hall Bay, watch the sun go down, shock 'em all day. In a Waterman Town. In a Waterman Town. There's lots of good people in the Chesapeake Bay. Man in the bank can take it all away. Run off the field, turn the water brown. Load on the shoulder, keep a good man down. In a Waterman Town. In a Waterman Town. In a Waterman Town. We dance every day on the blade of a knife. Darkness is nothing, love is light. Lay me down gently, lay me down slow. Don't you give up on me, got a long way to go. And we will not pass this way again, at least not for a while. I run into your dreams in the heat of the night. I come alive in your eyes. One stop along the way could have set us both free. Don't you give up on me, got a long way to go. And we will not pass this way again, at least not for a while. It's so quiet in the middle of two roads. That's the way it always goes. You know these waters forever run deep. Don't you give up on me. Got a long way to go. And we will not pass this way again, at least not for a while. Yeah, we will not pass this way again, at least not for a while. We will not pass this way again, at least not for a while. Yeah, and I was just reflecting on the beauty of the water and the wind and time and life. Time as it comes down to it's what we have, each other, and time. In the whisper of morning lay the graces to be, and the shadows are hanging in the old pinyon trees, and the wind from the water lifts the veil of the night, and I pray we shall share the rising of the light. We are gypsies and travelers on a road with a signpost gone, growing older and wiser with the coming of the dawn. There are infinite stars on a moonless night, and I pray we shall share the rising of the light. Well, I dwell on dear friends with a heart full of cheer, sweet silent partners through the rush of years, holding hands leaning heavy when our eyes lose their sight, and I pray we shall share the rising of the light. We are gypsies and travelers on a road with a signpost gone, growing older and wiser with the coming of the dawn. There are infinite stars in a moonless night, and I pray we shall share the rising of the light, and I pray we shall share the rising of the light. thank you all. Is that enough?
Yeah.
You had enough of me? Do you have any questions? Anybody have any questions?